What's happening, guys? Dan here, DSP Shop. Today, so I've been just thrashing on 57 Chevys lately, which is, I mean, I guess that's kind of like a regular day at the DSP Shop, but today I want to do something a little different. I did them years ago. When we first started the channel. We did it was like tool review stuff, which I'm not going to do a tool review, but Princess Auto has English wheels on sale, and I've been looking at, well, I've been waiting, because, I mean, you gotta get stuff on sale. Since last fall, summer, I did that class with Carl Fisher. When was it? Japans at Brent's place? Whatever. Anyway, we were playing around there, and I bought his hammer. I did the whole thing. We started doing metal shaping, and I ended up using the English wheel, which I kind of fell in love with there. They had the power hammer, and I have one of those, whatever they're called, things to make panels, but I wanted a full-size English wheel. They're on sale right now, so I'm going to go buy one. And ultimately, I haven't used it since, so that's been a year, but clearly it's probably like riding a bike or putting a floor pan in or chopping a set of two-door doors into something. I'm sure I'm still an expert at it. The reason I want it is floor pan patches. You can kind of fold them over. I'd like to make them in one piece more than anything, as opposed to kind of cutting them and welding them and making them all ugly. So I'm hoping I can hammer them into place and then kind of flatten them out or make them look a little more nice with an old English wheel. So that's the plan. We actually got a pile of garbage, so garbage run. Been going through all the stuff, selling stuff on Facebook. Actually got to be back because the guy's coming for this in an hour. So we're on the timeline. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and assemble that thing, play with it a little bit, go see if there's hammers on sale, because let's be honest, if hammer's on sale, we buy it. Yeah, we'll see you back here shortly. We're back. I just assembled the base right quick because we have a pole knocker over here. So this dog, we're supervising him. He's still got his gammy foot. The problem is we wrap it. He's okay. The other dog likes the taste of the wrap. So the other dog jailbreaks him. Anywho, we got this thing all together. Just gotta figure out how this all goes. Pretty friggin' simple. It's like a little base. Come on, come on. Some guys put this on 4x4 blocks to raise it up, or maybe some wheels even. And honestly, what a lot of guys do, they'll take maybe just this piece and they'll put it on the wall so it can kind of go out and not take up a bunch of room.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Don't worry, I leaned it up carefully so it didn't scratch the car. Now what we got to do, I assume it goes this ways to the, oh no, I had it 100% backwards. The jaw opening goes to the 2 foots. Drill. There we go. There's a lot of stuff. I've seen guys build these and all sorts of crap, but you know what? For what the money is and all that, it's really actually not that large. I can put it up against the wall. We should be okay. It's a little excessive for what we're gonna do, but I wanted it, so I bought it. So I'll get this assembled. We got a guy coming right away actually to buy some parts. We're actually finally getting rid of some stuff, and then
So hard.
he's so dumb. They'll come back when we'll set up the all the dies and stuff, because ultimately we're just building a frame at this point. All right, Steve, good work, buddy. So we got the unit all together. It's super simple. There's no point in filming the whole thing. It's got a stand. The only thing that's a little, I guess, whatever, it's got a piece of big all-thread kind of deal here, which is what raises and lowers the lower anvil, or whatever you want to call it, die, I guess. And then it's got this little eccentric, which is how you're going to kind of put your metal in and out. And then it's got a bunch of dies that roll down from, like this one here. They're all gentle, gentle, gentle. They have different radiuses in them, so obviously more radius will give you more curvature. So that one's got quite a lot. And then, oh, stiff, it's brand new. Steve, you are like right in the way, buddy. And then this one, I think it's just 100% flat. So the whole deal with an English wheel, oh, it's rhymes. Put that in your AI app for a song. Basically, as you're running metal through here, it's like you're just hammer and dollying it, is my interpretation of it. Now, clearly there's way more people that can show you how to use this. That is not what we're doing here today. What we're showing you here today is if I can do it, anybody can. So go out there and buy yourself a few $100 English wheel and they come on sale. Now I don't have any sheet metal. All I have is this piece, which I made a while ago. I did this with the hammer and stump there, and that hammer from old, Japan's Carl, and then I used the Planishing hammer, Planishing, to kind of get somewhere. And the thing I learned a lot about metal was I thought these guys were running it through a machine and then all of a sudden the piece was just ready to go. And what I learned was there's a lot of hand manipulation, screwing around, all that, which was kind of interesting. So this one, we've kind of put a curve in it, so I'm wondering if I could, decurve it a little bit with this flat die. So I don't know if I can kind of do that, because I literally don't have any sheet metal in the shop, which is friggin' ridiculous.
You used it all on the Camaro.
No, I store-bought that, come on. Let's be honest here. So, if I can roll this through here a little. A little lunch coming up there. Flatten this out. We're going to do the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish. It's taking some of it out. And I don't think you want to get your fingers in here. That'll probably hurt.
Do they have like power ones?
Oh yeah. But you know how much they cost? Significantly more than we have. So we'll see if we can flatten this piece out, and then we'll go ahead and mess with it a little bit and see if we can make a big orb or something. By orb I mean a bowl, because obviously that's my skill level. So I'll work this out. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so we got her flattened out-ish. Now, if anything, it was curved the other way. Now it's curved up, actually, so such is life. We got the Carl hammer. So let's see if I can, the idea is, my interpretation, we want to kind of stretch this metal out a little bit. So we're going to do that by kind of whacking it. You want some eye protection? So we can kind of fold it into the place, and as you're stretching out the metal, it's going to want to naturally have a bit of a curve to it. So Steve, you're right in the way, bud. Like right in the way. Steve, your poor ears, buddy. I'm worried for you. So now we got a bunch of high spots. Steve, come on. You're going the wrong way, dude. And now we want all of the curve, because that's just the fun part. No point going slow. You might as well just go for the full enchilada here. So we're gonna put on the biggest die possible. Man, Steve, you are just...
He's a Velcro dog.
He really is. He just doesn't... he's gonna do what he's gonna do, I guess, here, eh? We get her kind of close. So initially, to kind of get it in there, you gotta open it and then kind of close it. You can run this with your knee or whatever. I'm just gonna try and work some of these out. And I'm hoping it'll give us a little bowl in the center, or a divot. And again, the other thing we learned was the more you focus on the center of the metal, the more it's accentuated on the outside. And maybe I should watch the video I did on this before, so I can actually pay attention to what I did there, versus just kind of talking out my ass and winging it. But hey, if you're not doing this...
Isn't that all YouTube is?
Well, YouTube is full of experts. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. So now, kind of flatten this out a little. We're still, well, this side, we're starting to show our little bowl in there, you know what I mean? Huh? What are we building? I don't know. But we're building it. We could build a bowl out of this disasterness.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot of bowls.
I keep everyone I make because I don't use them. Just kind of work the lower rod there with your knee or whatever and tighten her up. I'm just kind of working little X's around here to get the most orbiture as I can out of it. So there you go. If you actually want like a flat piece of metal, you'd have a little curve to it. Huh? That's kind of interesting. So maybe I'll run out and get a little sheet metal and we'll see if we can make a little project. You know? A little make work project that we don't need. We don't have any cars sitting around that need work or anything. But again, what I show them maybe kind of make what I'm trying to accomplish with the floor. Because the floor ends up having like you want to kind of bend it in two different ways at once. And it gives like a high point, which is kind of ugly. Which you then cover in seam sealer and some sort of a sound absorbent, but still. Huh? I don't know what we're doing with this, but I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. Let's go get some sheet metal. Well, we're actually a few days later. Danny washed my outfit. I'm looking good. I got some miscellaneous, some metal, and I got a couple of projects I want to try out. This is actually aluminum. I've never done anything with aluminum, but super, I mean, man, is it ever soft. And 20 gauge. Now, in the fall, summer, spring, we went out and did a class, I did a class with Carl, Make It Custom, at Brent's place there. And man, the amount I learned there was bananas. Where's my hammer? Oh yeah. So the thing was, we practiced making was a bowl. And it was pretty sweet. Brent, XO. You know, that's how you know we're friends. And the idea is, obviously you don't need a bowl for a whole lot of things. I shouldn't say that. I mean, if you want to do a cover for something or whatever. But ultimately, the big thing of the bowl is just to kind of try and figure out how the metal works. And you can see how it's all kind of folded on itself. But it's smooth. I mean, smoothish. Smooth enough for body filler. And we started off with this. This is how that turned into this. Now obviously, if you just try and pound into this, it'll be junk and folded over, and it's not going to look anything like that. And the goal being, you're kind of accomplishing something like this, and body panels. There's bowls everywhere. All I see is bowls, you know what I mean? It may not be a full bowl, but if you want to do, you know, like this headlight, you know, bucket type thing, it's obviously rolled over, and it kind of rolls forward, so it has some of these shapes in it. That's ultimately, I think, what they're trying to show with this. That's what I took from it. So, what I want to do, I know I did a video on this probably 6 or 8 months ago, but I haven't done it since. And the whole point of this video is, I'm not a metalworking guy by any means. And you just get out there and kind of figure it out and try it and see what happens. And if you make mistakes, who cares? You're out a few bucks, like, you know, $400 for a deal there. I bought Carl's hammer, you know, because I want to support him or whatever. But you can buy, Princess Auto sells one, which I've had and never used properly. Always just used as the closest hammer it is. But I mean, literally anything you want. It's probably 20 bucks. And you can accomplish everything we're trying to do here. And I want to flatten it out with the English wheel before I did it with the Planishing hammer. So we're going to try this out. And then we'll show this, but ultimately we're a little moldy. I made this out of a piece of junk steel. It's a little edge we can hammer on, and then a little bowl, which we can kind of tuck this thing together. So I know there's a lot of talking, but we're going to work on this right quick, and I'll kind of just show you the basics of it as to how I remember, and really just get my brain going again with it. A practice piece of steel probably isn't in the world for trying to make some panels, and I'll have a little bit of fun, see if we can make something kind of cool. I'll get the camera stand, which Danny has stolen, and we'll start after it. Okay, I'm wearing muffs here, so hopefully I don't talk too weird. This is like a little stump I kind of made. It'd be nice if it was taller by itself or shorter on the bench. But what we want to do, so we want to turn this thing into, oh, there's another bowl I made. We have to kind of shape it up. Well, obviously, there's too much material, because as you fold the edges around here, it curves, it's going to want to kink up. So you just got to accept that and kind of go from there. Actually, you know what we need is a Sharpie marker, which I have. And we're going to kind of break this thing. I'm trying to remember my expert training. But we're going to kind of start folding it. That's not quite centered, but pretend it is. We're going to start folding this line here just halfway and kind of make a little pie out of it. Then what we're going to do is smack it in this bowl. It will peak the metal. Then we're going to hammer it back down. What that's going to do is it's going to kind of bring it all up, and then it's going to kind of squish it all together, is my technical remembrance of it. Now let's see, I may have to go watch my old video here, but we'll see if we can just kind of smack her down. So we get kind of half of it there. We'll smack the other half. So we have that. Oh, it's going to get way worse before it gets any better. Another metalworking tip. Now, we're going to take the pointy tip. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Yeah, oh yeah, this is all coming back to me. You see how we've created this? It's basically done. What we're going to do now is hammer this with that end in the bowl. This bowl could be a little bigger, I'm not going to lie. And that's going to kind of flatten that all out. And as you're doing that, because it's tightening up the metal, it's going to want to kind of curve up and around. I hope I'm saying this right. Oh, you know what? There was something about doing something with the edge first. I don't remember what it was, but I believe it was important. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. And as we work our way around, we'll do each edge, whatever it is, it will start to kind of curve up and around. So I'm going to try this a little bit more and see what we end up with. Again, if you screw it up, it's just metal. It's not that much money, and really, who cares? Oh, you know what? There was something about you lock this in or something maybe first? I don't remember. We're just going to go ahead and whale on it and see what we end up with. Oh. The wet wood isn't the plan. So now you can ever so crudely see we've made a bowl. Now we can kind of flatten out these edges and stuff, which I'll probably go ahead and do a little bit. Actually, let's just do it right now. Muff up for safety. So kind of try and flatten them out. Man, don't store your wood or your metal beaten stump outside. I have to get another one of these. Where am I going to get another tree from? Actually, Carl sells the whole deal. I should just give him a damn Visa card. There we go. This one might be a little crude. So we have our bowl. Now, the deeper the center is, the bigger the bowl will be, and obviously the more you kind of tuck on the edge here, the more it will fold up. So you got to kind of look at it like, no, that's dead wrong when I said rings. The more, if you do here, I think, you'll get more out here, obviously, right? And if you do just the edge, it'll get a little less. You know what? forget everything I just said there, because I don't know if that's fact or fiction. But what I do know is if we hammer the hell out of the center, it'll make a nice deep bolt. No, we're not going to finish this, I don't think. We're going to smash that in there a whole bunch. What's the point of having a bowl? You can't fill it like right full of Rice Krispies. So we're gonna work on that a little bit. Get a little more in there maybe. Whew. Look at that. The other thing I learned, you end up just bending it a lot with your hand. So now, we've got our bowl. We're gonna go ahead and go over the English wheel. See what we can accomplish. So again, we have the big boy die, because why wouldn't you? And laying it here. We'll get her fired up in there. May have to loosen her just a little bit. We'll see what we can accomplish out of this and get some of these hammer marks out. Is that tightening or loosening? Loosening. In my experience, if you tighten it, it does a better job. The same thing if you get kind of giver in the center, that's how you're really gonna get the, pretty sure that's what it is, giver in the center. Someone's correct me in the comments section. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Already. You can see how it's kind of forming into a bowl, and we're really getting her deep there. Let's go ahead and crank it down some more. Now, I don't remember if there's a technique here or just kind of whatever feels right. But you know what I'm doing? Whatever the heck I want. So I want deep bowl. I tried this with the Planishing hammer, but I think the English wheel, man, this maybe needs a little weight on it. Kind of does its own thing. And I'm trying to work it out, again, in kind of concentric circles. We did a lot. We're gonna do a little bit more. You can see as we're going, as we get to the edge, it should, in theory, fold on itself. I'm thinking, I'm hoping. So we'll just kind of see if we can get these edges. Man, we have a little bit excess pressure on there on the edges. Hang on. What do we do? Loosen this? There we go. So see if we can get some of these ugliness. Oh yeah. Some of the ugliness out. And we're golden. So now I'm a friggin' Sasquatch when it comes to precision. So bear in mind with that, my level of care is unbelievably low, and I just don't have the patience. Now, since this thing is basically just a hammer, I figure you can just smash into it. And it will figure itself out. So, let's see what we can do here. It's working into something. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep giving her. We'll see what we end up with. So that's our little bowl, we'll call it. Obviously it still has screwing around to do on the edge, but if you wanted, you know, a small bowl, small section, whatever, it's good. Now, I struggle with the edges. This thing is also, this way, is a lot of screwing around. Carl said that, you know, the cleaner you keep the dies and all that, the nicer job it'll do, but ultimately that's just 2 hammers. It's a hammer and a dolly, right? What we're gonna do now, I got the Planishing hammer set up, and it's essentially the same deal. There's a die and an anvil, so we'll just see. Now this is loud, very loud, but effective, and I think we can probably give her on the edge here. Let me just see. So all this is, I mean, it's an air hammer with a couple of dies on it, and yeah, this is supposed to have an adjustable thing, but it's all broken, so it's got a bolt in it. As you step on it, watch your ears. It'll just hammer away. So, what do you do? Need this up more. Oh, maybe it does work? Oh yeah. Idiot. There we go. Ba-boom! I don't have the air compressor on, so that's all we're really going to do. But it kind of cleans up the edges. You know, this one, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really do the best job of getting that first hammer and tuck. So it had all the same amount of kind of folds and shrinkage, but there you go. We're getting there. So, just see this again. This is just the old, I'm an idiot, don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I did accomplish this. And in my experience, if you would try to do this curve by just hammering it, it won't look good, no matter what you do. If you want to be proud of it or whatever, if you're going to show it off, that's that. Now, I'm thinking, I like to build hood scoops, and I think maybe I'm going to try this aluminum, because I think it should bend real easy. This is all beat up and stepped on, whatever. But I'm going to cut a little chunk out, and I've got a little design in my head. I saw a guy on the internet do it, and I thought, hey, if he can do it, so can I. Whoop, even though he's an expert and I am an amateur. But with enough screwing around, I mean, that was, I can say 20 minutes. You know, this took me a morning. You can see we're getting there, obviously. You keep working at it till it looks kind of good and concentric and all those sort of things. You can keep going back and start smashing on the mallet or whatever you want to do, but got ourselves a bent, round piece of steel. That's pretty exciting. I'll get this piece cut out. We'll see what we end up with. I got some ideas. Okay, so we got our little piece of tin. Overly thin, so I don't know if that's going to make this better or worse. But what I'm thinking is, all a hood scoop is kind of a bowl. So if we can do something like this, that's a pretty terrible marker and drawing, but a U, and if it's wider and deeper at the front than it is at the back, you know, it'll be a scoop. Now, I don't know if we can just do it on the English wheel, or if we just try bashing it first like this. but it's a hood scoop. So again, if we can kind of knock this into place here, accomplish something. So it's all going to kind of fold up, which is, I guess, what we want. Now if we can unfold this just a little, kind of gives the look of a scoop, right? So let's go over to our wheel and see if any of this is going to work out, or if we just wasted 18 cents worth of nickels. But it's also kind of hard to hold on the hands, I guess. So again, we have the biggest die. Is that tightening it? Let's see if this works. I think you don't really want to get your fingers caught in here. That might not feel great. We gotta go mostly straight forward and back. So, actually, it's not that bad. In my mind. See if we can just kind of, it really wants to kind of pull itself around, but we can really let this rip in here. Now, I don't know if we should do just the whole way around, or if I should have maybe a lip to it. See if we can get to the other side. You see all these giant folds. Just kind of work themselves out a little bit. You know, let's do the whole thing and see if we can fold it back after. I don't know. Looks like a scoop of some sort. This metal is so soft, it's unbelievable. Take my time, I'm rushing. Laziness. Zero patience, I guess. Kind of takes over. Well, we've got ourselves something. I'm thinking if we really hammer out, hang on, let me get the center here. The center like crazy. It's really hard to get her kind of straight. Really lay into it. Oh yeah. That should give us a lot of curvature. Which I think we kind of have. Now, my mind, it's bigger at the top, kind of slopes down. So, yeah, you kind of see my mark. I got to go maybe a little bit further there. Not much. Now my goal will be nice to, I mean, you see those Cobras and all that? They're like made out of all aluminum. They have a cool aluminum scoop. How neat would that be? To have an aluminum scoop. It's obviously too tight. So if we kind of work it over, I think it'll slowly but surely get us what we want. Again, not screwing around for something that's going to end up probably in the garbage, or, well, we're kidding, I'll end up on the bench. Let's get her on this side. Bunch of back and forths. Now I'm thinking, if we get the scoop what we want, if I put some flat dies on and work my way around, then I might be able to accomplish something that I want here. Okay, well I think we have about what I want there. I'm going to draw a line on this and see if I can, of course no measuring, why would you measure? Let's just get this side here. It's kind of tripping me out here. But if I draw a little line on it, it'll make sense and I can figure something out. Just so we know where we're at, this is what I'm thinking. If I can fold around this line, which I could probably just do by hand, but we'll try and use the wheel just to practice. Fold it out as a flange, and then we'll trim this off, and then see what we end up with. So I'm going to trim off these edges, and and I'll come back, we'll put a flat wheel in and see what happens. So here's what we're kind of working with. Again, if we can get that folded over, it's not perfect, it's not symmetrical, it's not any of that, but it's a practice. And I'm just kind of working through it quickly, and this is not a how-to video, obviously. There's way better metal workers out there than myself, but this is a try it out video. What do you have to lose other than maybe an evening of your time? And hey, not everyone's good at stuff right away. So this dialed together. I don't know if I can use this as like an edger, unfortunately. Oh, I guess I can do this side. So I'm thinking is kind of almost like a bead roller style. Maybe that's a little much. If we can go ahead and flatten this, like take the curve out that we put in. Oh yeah. Huh, this might actually work out. Just really, oh, geez. Gentle. I don't know if I should do this in one motion or kind of work my way around. I'm already feeling like I probably should have a little less pressure on. This is definitely not symmetrical, so let's just, I'll say that right now. But if it's getting the kind of idea I'm looking for. Look at that. I mean, it's total garbage, but we're working on it. If I kind of keep giving her, give her a tighten, I think I should be able to, whoops, the edge. You can't go too close to the edge, man. Does it ever fall out? But look at that. Buttons right out there. So now, I mean, you could, this is what I'm talking about, this symmetrical is not, it's not great, but we could probably clean that up with the grinder. And I mean, I missed the line there too. No patience. Let's just hammer through it again, see what we can accomplish. I wonder if I could even do it upside down, if that makes a difference. I guess it shouldn't, flat's flat. I don't know if I should be working on the edge or what, but kind of got her under control. A little bit of hand bending. I think we got something. I'm going to play with it a little bit more. But again, we have ourselves a little bowl. And now if we cut it, trim up the edges, maybe we'll have something. Yeah, I'm going to think on it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been playing around with it. I think kind of has, it goes up and then it curves back down. And I think I want it to continue. So what that needs, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hammer it again. We know we can fix it now, but give her a little more stretch right at the edge here. Which, I mean, you can see it's kind of lifting. I don't want to, I'm trying to keep the nice bent edge I put in there. I don't know how much that matters. Oh, see, we're starting to get a kink in it there. I think that means we're doing something. So now, I'll put the other die on, the big round die, and it should, it's now the high spot. We're gonna end up trimming off the little end bit anyways. It should do something, so I'll change the die. Be right back. Okay, we're back. We got the round boy on. Now, let's see if I can, I'm thinking if I really hammer the middle out, kind of wants to roll over still. I don't know if that's just because I shouldn't go right to the edge or what. Maybe it's a little too much pressure. We're learning together. Look at that. Oh, maybe it's how I'm holding it. Yeah. I mangled that there. Right at the very edge, it wants to kind of loop over. So, what am I going to do there? But we're getting a nice little scoop out of it. But it flattened it right the way it was. Maybe I'm doing that and I need to be more level. Man, if only there was like some sort of website that I was a part of that would show you how to do this stuff with video. Yeah, I'm thinking I might have been the problem there. Nope, that's bending the crap out of it inwards. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and call it, because I think quit while you're ahead. And I feel like I'm ahead-ish. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit more of this. Make sure we have a nice curve the whole way around at the front. Let's see if we can trim it out. I'll see you on the bench. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to cut just with the zip disc. Obviously, it's a curve. See, we're starting to mash the end of the steel there, or aluminum. So hopefully, I'm gonna make just a nice eyeball straight cut. Where's the fun in that? So that kind of gave us a nice little shape. Now if I can make this somewhat symmetrical by eye. That's not bad. Can I match this side? Doing it backwards? We're getting somewhere. Oh, see, this is why I can't have nice things. That's an expensive hammer. Most expensive hammer I've ever bought. It's ground into it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can cut this around. Some of those, you know what would be sweet is that tool that has the little, you know, and you could scribe a line so it would match the whole way around instead of trying to. But that's what we're doing. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, so now we can just kind of, we already have the bend or the fold in it. We can straighten it up on the bench a little. A nice clean bench that will leave no imprints in the metal whatsoever. Okay, well it is far from perfect, but perfect from afar. The real issue is obviously this little bit, it clearly schwanks over there. I wonder if that's just in the marker. If I sanded it off, it would look a little better. But it gives the appearance of a hood scoop. I'm gonna see if I can maybe buff this up real quick. Maybe I'll make it look a little better. Well, I mean, it's flat-ish. You know, I cleaned it up a little. It's definitely, you can see that bottom section. It is not symmetrical whatsoever, but for just playing around the garage for an evening or an afternoon, if this was metal, well, steel, you can flatten it out a little bit, weld it in, bodywork it. It would look you know, if that's what you're going for. I would like to recreate a larger one of these. I'll actually show you what I would like to eventually make, and I may try it one day when I have free time, because I have nothing but free time. So this scoop right here is a Trans Am scoop with the opening, and I just like the hard edges. So I think you could hammer those all over, fold it. It has a nice little kind of peak, gentle peak to it, so you can kind of do that. I'd probably end up doing it in 17 pieces or something like that, but this is reminiscent of like a Shelby Cobra scoop or something along those lines. It might be a little flatter on top and obviously larger and all sorts of stuff, but that is something you could not accomplish, well, I couldn't, just by hammering it. Maybe other people can. Again, this is not a tutorial video whatsoever. This is the small, minute amount of skills that I have. Now, I do think it's one of those things where there's maybe 100 guys that really know it very, very well, and then there's 99% of the guys that don't know how to do anything, and I'm just one day, one piece of $400 ahead of those guys. But practice makes perfect. As you kind of carry on, you can, you know, figure things out, hammer stuff into place, Planishing hammer, English wheel, and start making little patch panels or whatever it may be. You start down low where no one sees it, you can't really go wrong. So, I don't think you're gonna get anything out of this other than get out in the garage, invest in a few tools. When Princess Auto has a sale, you go there, and you play with it, right? So, that's where I'm leaving it, in my pile of, we'll just put it all in the bowl here. Eventually the bowl will be full of bowls, and you can't go wrong. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it motivates you to get out there and screw some metal up, because ultimately, if you don't screw it up, you never learn how to be better at it. The best guy in the world didn't start off the best guy in the world. Keep that in mind. Leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and maybe we'll get working on this thing one of these days. I kind of just like looking at it, but I have fallen in love with it. See you in the next one.